Assalamualaikum and good day to my viewers behind the screen, especially to our Professor Ma'am Naira Raihan Makaumbos. So for our final requirements, we are given a task to choose a corporation and find their financial statement analysis. By the way, my name is Aljari Dampaso Abubakar, and today, together with my groupmates, we are going to find the financial statement analysis of our chosen corporation. So the corporation that we have chosen is the largest corporation here in the Philippines, which is the San Miguel Corporation. So before we're going to start our main discussion, let me first give you some brief background about our chosen corporation. So as I've said earlier, aside from it is the largest corporation here in the Philippines, it is also the oldest corporation here in the Philippines. It was established in 1890 and it started as brewery and now operates in food, beverages, energy, infrastructure, and more. Some of its popular products include Magnolia Chicken and San Miguel beer. And the president and CEO of this corporation is Ramon S. Ang. In our discussion, we are going to find the vertical analysis, horizontal analysis, liquidity ratio, activity ratio, solvency ratio, and profitability ratio. And after that, there will be one of us who will give a short overall interpretation for our findings. And as I am the leader of this group, I am tasked to give the introduction and discuss the first topic, which is the vertical analysis. So, without further ado, let's get started. Vertical analysis compares items in a financial statement as percentages of a base amount. So, ginagawa itong vertical analysis para instead na ang tingnan natin is yung mga large amounts of money, ang titingnan na lang natin is percentages. So, by that, mas madali na lang sa atin yung comparison between years. And through vertical analysis, mas madali na lang din sa atin makita yung mga areas na kailangan ng adjustment. Let's say for instance, mas mataas yung liabilities mo kaysa sa revenue mo. So, through vertical analysis, mas madali nating maremedyohan yung mga areas na kailangang bigyan ng remedyo. And ginagawa itong vertical analysis sa dalawa. First is sa income statement and pangalawa is sa balance sheet statement. So dito sa income statement, if dito natin gagamitin yung vertical analysis, ang magiging base natin is the total revenue. So bali ang magiging equation natin is percentages is equals to income statement divide net revenue times 100. On the other hand naman, pag gagamitin natin yung vertical analysis sa balance sheet, ang magiging base natin is the total assets. So, ang magiging equation natin dyan is percentages is equals to balance sheet items divide total assets times 100. So, now that we understand what is vertical analysis, simulan natin sa income statement. So, ito yung income statement ng San Miguel Corporation. And before natin simulan itong isolve, let me first apologize kasi wala itong headings. It is because hindi na kasi kasya dito sa PowerPoint na ginawa ko. But nevertheless, these are the income statement of San Miguel Corporation for the year 2022 and 2023. So, as I've said earlier, ang magiging base natin dito is the total revenue. So, ang total revenue natin, makikita naman natin, yung naka-highlight na red, yan yung total revenue natin. And at the same time, yan yung magiging base natin. So, para makuha natin yung percentages, all we have to do is to divide each item dito sa total revenue. So, let's say for example, dito sa 2022, simulan natin dito sa dividend and distribution income. So, para makuha natin yung percentages niyan, kailangan lang natin i-divide yung 14,681 million, this is in million ha, million divide 17,979 times 100. So, ang magiging result niyan is 81.7%. And the rest, ganyan pa rin yung process. All we have to do is to divide lang sila dito sa total revenue and i-times lang natin ng 100. And if we're going to add this dividend and distribution income down to gain on sale of assets, ang magiging result niyan is 100%. Bakit? Kasi itong total revenue natin, nanggaling ito dito sa mga items na ito. But hindi pa dyan nagtatapos. Kailangan natin yang bawasan syempre ng mga expenses natin. So dito sa baba, makikita natin dyan, yan yung mga expenses natin. So same process lang din, each item, i-divide lang natin sa base natin, which is the total revenue, and i-multiply lang natin siya sa 100 para makuha yung percentage. After nyan, after natin i-minus yung total revenue natin to the total expenses natin, ang magiging result niyan is yung tinatawag nating loss before income tax. After niyan, ibabawas ulit natin yung income tax expense. Then ang result niyan, yun na, doon na natin malalaman kung it is net income or net loss. So as we can see, ang result is net loss both 2022 and 2023. Now let's move on to my interpretation of findings. So, makikita natin doon sa previous slide na tumaas ng 92.6% yung total revenue natin from 2022 to 2023. So, from 17,979 million, naging 34,631 million ito in 2023. But, marahil nagtataka kayo, bakit net loss pa rin yung result sa 2023, tumaas naman yung net revenue. It is because kasabay ng pagtaas ng net revenue is tumaas din yung expenses natin. Kung papansinin natin, yung expense natin dito sa cost and expenses from 2022, meron tayong 4,169 million. Tumaas ito ng 10,797 million. And then, ganun din yung pagtaas ng iba pang expense. That's why, ang result, instead of net income, ang naging result is net loss. Now, let's move on to our balance sheet. So, these are the balance sheet of the San Miguel Corporation. And as you can see, hindi ko na sila nilista pa isa-isa kasi masyado na siyang mahaba. So, ang ginawa ko na lang, kinuha ko yung total current assets, total non-current assets, total liabilities, total equities, para maging short na lang yung makita nyo dito sa PowerPoint presentation. So, dito sa balance sheet, ang magiging base natin is yung total assets. So, ayan, hinighlight ko ng red yung total assets para mas madali na sa atin ma-distinguish kung saan yung magiging base natin. So, same lang yung process nito from the income statement. All we have to do is to divide each item to our base, which is the total assets. So, let's say for example, dito sa total current assets from the year 2022. So, ang kailangan lang natin gawin is i-divide itong 265,136 divided by 1,131,326 million times 100. So, ang magiging result niyan is 23.44%. Ganon din yung gagawin natin sa iba. Now, let's move on to my interpretation of findings. So, mapapansin natin sa previous slide na bumaba yung current assets from 2022 to 2023. And then, tumaas ng bahagya yung liabilities ng from 2022 to 2023. Ibig sabihin, siguro ang San Miguel Corporation mas nag-focus sila sa mga long-term investment like mga infrastructure and energy projects. Kasi di ba nga, pag sinabi natin current assets, these are the assets that can be liquidate into cash quickly. While sa non-current assets naman, ito naman yung mga assets na hindi madaling ma-liquidate into cash. However, the company must carefully monitor its debt levels to ensure its capacity to meet both short-term and long-term obligations. But we're not going to discuss that further because there will be one of us who will discuss in terms of debts. Now, let's move on for my recommendations. For the income statement, siguro the company should lower its expenses. They should spend less on things that they don't actually need. And at the same time, kailangan din nila gumawa ng paraan para tumaas pa yung sales nila so that they can earn more money and avoid losses. For the balance sheet naman, the company's long-term investments are good for future, but yung pagtaas ng liabilities nila is not good kasi pinapakita lang nito na mas malaki yung utang nila kaysa sa revenue nila. So, what they should do is to limit their pangungutang para hindi mag-result yung income statement into net loss. And that's all for my part. I hope that you've got some learnings from my discussions and there will be a continuation from my other group mates.